Hey friends, get ready for your energy forecast for the week of May 17th through 23rd, 2026. I'm Dr. Missy Hillock, your friend, your guide, talking all things energy to help you get through the week. As you may have noticed, I've been gone the last couple of weeks, and for those in my community, you know that's because I endured the loss of my very dear best friend, Julie. And so I have taken some time away to be in reflection and to be in celebration of her life. And I am back. And just like you, whatever has been going on the last few weeks, whatever you're facing in the week ahead, I totally get that things can feel really heavy sometimes. And that's why I love to do these energy updates to give us, if nothing else, a different perspective, a way to look at our challenges, our strengths, our manifestations, our creations in various ways that will help guide you along the way. So I hope that this will serve you. We just had a new moon yesterday, and it's the new moon in Taurus. I also happen to be a Taurus as my sun sign, so I'm really feeling the energy of this new moon. If you know about new moons, you know that generally they are kind of our divine masculine energy. They're kind of the going, the doing, the manifesting and achieving phase of the moon cycle. So for the next 2 weeks, that's sort of what we're leaning into. And so the cards that I pulled, I think are really supportive of this. I can really feel the shift in myself already. So let's dig in and see what we've got. So the first deck that I felt called to pull from was one of Yasmin Boland's Moonology decks, and it's actually the manifestation deck because the new moons, again, are associated with this phase of manifesting. So the card that I pulled, I loved it, is the full moon in Leo card, Go Wild. First of all, it's just an adorable card. How cute is this guy? But I love the idea of this energy right now, which is when we're in a manifesting phase. This is the time to look at what are we creating? What are we wanting to bring into our awareness, into fruition, all of those things. And this is a call that instead of being more like the Taurus, who's a little more controlling, a little more meticulous, more of that sort of grounded energy that a Taurus brings, this is saying, bring in some of that fire, bring in some of that Leo energy. And instead of being so planned, and calculated, let go a little bit. Like get outside your comfort zone, do things that feel maybe a little risky, a little challenging, a little out of the norm, and feel good, feel supported about making a choice like that. And, with Taurus, again, this Taurus new moon, the Taurus energy is very much around our finances, our comforts, our luxuries. Taurus loves beauty. Think about Leo as also really liking kind of the flamboyant version of that. And so this is saying, just let that part of you, that more extreme version of you, come alive this week, and that will serve you well. The next deck that I pulled from is Spirit Allies. This is a really beautiful deck. I don't use it very often, but the cards are really gorgeous. And when I pulled from the deck, 2 cards came out in tandem. So the first one is card number 24, Tiger's Eye. So within this deck, there are crystal energies, there are plant energies, there are animal energies. So this, of course, Tiger's Eye comes from that crystal energy portion. And if you know about Tiger's Eye, first of all, we got a lion, we got a tiger. So there's some symbolism there, big cat energy coming in. But Tiger's Eye as a crystal, as a stone, is incredibly grounding. So again, think about us in the Taurus season, Taurus being an earth sign, very, very grounding energy, but it's also really, really healing. It's incredibly purifying. It's about clarity. It's about kind of moving through the muck. And it's really also about healing. It's about getting to a state of groundedness to really reset, refresh, heal. But also look at the Tiger's Eye itself as kind of that fiery, orangish, yellowish kind of a color. And so again, this is a theme here of bringing in the fire energy, which is also this forward movement energy, this manifestation energy, but balanced in this grounding way. Okay, so lean into that this week. Where are you feeling maybe still uneasy, unsettled, maybe tender, maybe a little raw, maybe seeking some healing in an area? And then how can you kind of harness that fire energy, that forward momentum energy, that little bit of that courageous lion energy to kind of move you through this particular phase. The second card I pulled is also really supportive here, card number 25, ayahuasca, which of course is from the plant section of this card deck. And ayahuasca, as you know, it's used ceremonially as a plant medicine, and it is incredibly healing. It's probably, of all the plant medicines that are being used today, it's one of the most emotional and spiritually healing. Also can be very physically and mentally healing. But another kind of tandem card for this deep purge, clearing, reset as we work toward putting things in action and bringing things to fruition. Ayahuasca as an energy is quite bold, because when you step into any ceremonial plant journey where there are going to be visualizations and you're going to go into realms and dimensions that could be really thrilling, but also could be really scary and terrifying, you really have to go in with some courage and some groundedness and an acceptance. And again, I love that the Leo energy is coming in here for that. And this is saying, don't fear it. Don't fear whatever challenges you're going through and what feels really heavy right now. Know that you're supported, but also know this is still a time of clearing as you're moving forward this week. And then the last deck I pull from, I don't use often in these messages, because you'll see the deck is Inner Vision by Kim Chesney. The card deck, I love it for myself and working with some of my clients, because it's all about using your intuition. There's no interpretation on the card that's explicit. So there's no words on the card. There's no guidebook to reference. You're really just leaning in and intuitively getting information from the card. So again, I love this deck, but it doesn't always serve me well in this type of a setting. But I was really feeling called to it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to pull from the deck. And I did. And the card that I pulled, before I show it to you, I just want to tell you that ever since my best friend passed away 2 weeks ago, she immediately let me know that one of her signs that she wanted to show me, and that she wanted me to relate to family and friends to look for as a sign from her, was the sign of the palm tree. And if you know the spiritual significance of a palm tree, it's really, really deep, but it's really about purification, transcendence, resurrection. Think about Palm Sunday in the Easter, phase, and it's really this victory, this ascension beyond death type of energy. And she also was a lover of the beach and all things tropical and vacay and all of those things. So it wasn't surprising that she sent me a palm tree for both of those reasons. But ever since she did, it has been constantly coming up in so many ways for me and all of our friends and family. And it's something that we've really been able to talk about and connect with each day since her passing, because we're all reminded how much she's still here with us. So in pulling from this deck that I rarely pull from here, I pulled this card. And as you can see, it's got a beautiful palm tree and it's a beautiful beach scene. And so I'm just going to hold it up here for a moment so you can gaze at the card. And you can think about what's happening in your life. What are the things that you're looking to manifest? Where are there still some tender spots that you can sense that if those things were repaired, if those things were released and healed, you may have a little more energy, a little more clarity, a little more guidance to head forward in all the beautiful things that you're seeking in life. So as you reflect on that, gaze at this card and just notice what the images are revealing to you. Notice if there is a deeper message with any of the particular symbols that mean anything to you. Notice kind of the story that your mind starts to tell about what's happening here, or again, the images, the placement, the symbolism that's here. And just feel into whether there's an intuitive message that's meant for you by looking at this card. So I'm going to bring it closer just a minute. Perfect. And I would say when I pulled this card, to me, it was really, this week's message is really healing to me. I really feel like, so much of my life, the last several weeks, leading up to her passing, there were so many things happening, and it was all happening so quickly. And I am really at this phase right now where I feel like there is this layer of healing that's unfolding in relation not just to her passing, but through her illness and everything that we endured together in this process. And so this reading was supportive, but then this was also showing me, she's always with me. She's here guiding. And, life really is, even in its darkest days, there's beauty. There is something to look forward to. There are treasures. There are things that are happening for us, even when it feels like everything is so heavy. So again, I hope this supports you. I hope to see you next week. Should you want to keep up with these messages, you can follow me here on my YouTube. You can also sign up for my mailing list, and the way to do that is in the comments of this video. And I hope you have a fantastic week. See you next time.